We are leaving the European Union. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of days. 31 days, deal or no deal. Now, we understand that preparing to leave without a deal is not only the responsible thing to do, but also the best way of leaving with a deal. You know, in all my years of negotiating multi-billion-pound international deals, I never once walked into a room without being able to walk away. And that's why on my very first day as Chancellor, I gave a speech to the Treasury about making no-deal preparations my top priority. And a few days later, I doubled funding for it, taking our Brexit spending to a total of £4 billion this year. And to give organisations and devolved administrations certainty for the year ahead, in the event of a no-deal, I have now agreed to guarantee all £4.3 billion of EU-directed funding that they would have been expecting. Now, that doesn't mean that a no-deal would be without significant challenges. I know that some businesses and households, they are concerned about what a no-deal outcome might mean for them. I recognise that. And I understand the uncertainty around Brexit can be challenging. But our step change in preparations has made a deal outcome more likely and a no-deal outcome more manageable. Every department now has the resources available to prepare for no deal. That means more Border Force staff, better transport infrastructure at our ports, more support for business readiness. I've tasked the Treasury with preparing a comprehensive economic response to support the economy. Working closely with the Bank of England, we're ready to draw on the full armoury of economic policy if needed. And the bank has already revised its assessments because of the actions that we've already taken. So, deal or no deal, we will be ready. All that is important. But Brexit is not just something to manage or to mitigate. We understand this is ultimately a question about trust in our democracy. A strong economy can only be built on the foundations of a successful democracy. And by definition, democracy isn't just for when it suits you. Like the Lib Dems, who called for a referendum for years and then sort of changed their mind. Then they said they would respect the result. Then they sort of didn't. Then called for a second vote. Then changed their mind again. And now they want to somehow pretend that the whole thing never happened. Going back on your promises to the British people isn't liberal, and it certainly isn't democratic. And then there's the Labour Party. They're so split down the middle that not even their leader and their shadow chancellor can agree on whether they support Brexit or not. So, guess what? They're going to hold another referendum with two options. Perhaps and maybe. What a leader. A man for the many Brexit positions, not the few. What they don't seem to understand is that millions of people voted in good faith over 3 years ago. It was the biggest exercise in democracy our country has ever seen. And they always forget one group of voters. That's the millions who voted not to leave the EU, but now completely respect the result and want us to get on with Brexit. Yes, there are splits of opinion and strong views on all sides. I get that. But I passionately believe that we need to heal the divisions in our society. The way to do that isn't to carry on arguing about Brexit forever and ever and ever. It is to finally deliver on the original decision and move the whole country forward. People talk a lot about the risks of Brexit. Some are understandable, some not. But the truth is this, and I don't think it is acknowledged as often as it should be. The most reckless course of all would be not to deliver Brexit at all. If we fail to deliver on the instruction of the British people, we are in danger of tearing the very fabric of our democracy. A fabric that has been carefully woven together over centuries. And if we do that, I fear that we may not be able to stitch it up again. If people are going to have faith in the ballot box, then we absolutely have to follow through on that vote. No more second guessing, no best of three. One vote, one mandate, one nation moving forwards together.